My name is Kerri Wade. I'm here with my friend Mark Fortuna, the Tuna Man.
Happy 4th of July, everybody.
Yeah, it's the 4th of July today, and he wore a special 4th of July shirt. Don't you love that? So anyway, I asked Mark, who is a guru on healing with cannabis and what's the name of CBD oils and THC and all that sort of thing. And it's all pretty much foreign to me. And so I asked him to come and just help us clarify some information on this. So I personally have used the hemp seed oil, which does not have any CBDs in it, or virtually no CBDs or THC or anything, and you can just buy it at the Sprouts Market. And it's actually full of nutrients, and I found that it really helps me a lot with my aches, my pains, that sort of thing. I've got other friends who are also using it, and I think it's probably because of the magnesium and the potassium that's in it, and the omega-3 and 6 oils, and vitamin E, BN1, all these wonderful good things in it, and it really does make a difference for that. But there's also the CBDs, the THCs, which are used more medicinally. And so, Mark, I was hoping maybe you could kind of just share a little bit. What's the difference? I mean, I never knew that hemp and cannabis were two different things. So...
You know, hemp and cannabis are cousins. Cannabis has THC and CBDs in it. Hemp is pure CBDs, and they take the one molecule of THC out of it. So when you do CBDs and you heal, you're not doing any THC.
And THC is actually the part that gives you the high feeling. Is that correct?
Yes. So if you do CBDs, which you can buy over the internet, there is no high feeling. It's pretty much for healing. The THC is pretty much works with the CBDs, and the THC is what kills the cancer cells. That's the difference. The CBD does not do that. The CBDs creates the pathway for the THC to go in and kill the cancer cells. They work together. Okay,
so if you're treating something like cancer, then you have to have the THC.
Absolutely, and that's what the Rick Simpson oil is. It's the CBD goes in and opens up the pathway, and then the THC goes in and kills the cancer cells.
Okay.
The CBD products, you're not dealing with cancer, you're just healing, and many of my friends have gotten off all their diabetic medicine, and it helps with epilepsy, seizures, helps with depression. So pretty much you can get on the CBDs all day long, which is made out of the hemp plant, and that stuff grows everywhere. So get ready for change.
Okay, so you said you could order the CBDs like on the internet. So are they, do you have to have like a medical marijuana card or anything? Are they legal in all states, or are there some states that they're not?
It's legal in all states.
CBDs are.
Yeah, and
I had no
you know,
idea.
and they're using, you know, a lot of the products is helping people with seizures. I mean, so pretty much, you know, they have to open this up for the whole country. But with the THC products and the marijuana products, you know, it's limited to you know, so many states.
Okay, so the rules aren't the same all the way across the country. Basically.
No.
Okay. Well, in some of the research that I was doing, some reading and stuff, I noted that CBD oil, it is a medicine, and it treats bone growth, cancer cell growth, bacteria growth, artery blockages, psoriasis, nervous system degeneration, high blood sugar, insomnia, seizures and convulsions, muscle spasms, anxiety, psychosis, nausea and vomiting, low appetite, inflammation, and chronic pain. That's quite a list of things that are helped with the CBDs.
Well, the thing is, you have a cannabinoid system in your body.
Okay.
And then the cannabinoids, you can get cannabinoid support from CBDs or cannabinoid support from marijuana. And then when those products go into your body and support your cannabinoid system, your nervous system is affected in a more positive way, and your autoimmune system is affected in a more positive light. And so then, in essence, you will be living and performing at a higher vibration, which is better health.
So, a cannabinoid system in our body, why is this something that is not taught in normal?
You know, the thing is, the cannabinoid system, in fact, I hang out with a lady that is highly educated. In fact, I don't hang out with her. I've been going, I went to her seminars on CBDs. And she has a master's degree, and she's a nurse, and she's about 70 years old. And she learned about every system in your body, Ivy League educated. And for some reason, the cannabinoid system was left out of the educational system.
Wow.
So recently, up to a couple years ago, it's been coming out more and more.
That's interesting. Oh, so you probably know a little bit more about that system. What does that system do in the body?
Well, that's it. What the cannabinoid system does, it supports your nervous system and your autoimmune system so that it reverses a lot of the diseases we're all dealing with.
Okay.
That the pharmaceuticals are capturing a lot of revenue.
Wow. Okay, so the CBD oil actually supports that system in your body.
Yes.
It's working with that system.
Absolutely.
And providing nutrients basically to that system so that it functions
And
optionally.
Yes. Absolutely.
Interesting. Okay. Okay, so in doing some reading like on the THC, it talks about how it stimulates the cells in your brain and results in the dopamine release, and it activates your cannabinoid receptors, which impact your brain in many ways. Some strains can give you a burst of energy and creativity, but basically the result is going to be a very mellow feeling as that high takes over. And this is also for relaxation and pain relief. But you're talking about the Rick Simpson oil, and I know a lot of people have probably never heard of that or aren't really familiar with that. Can you talk a little bit more about the Rick Simpson oil?
Yeah, and I'll go through my history real quick. I had Hodgkin's disease back in the 80s and went through a cancer program at Loyola in Chicago. I had Hodgkin's twice. The second time I had it, we did chemo. And the chemo back then and some of the chemo today is mustard gas.
Wow.
So I did 9 months of chemo, which was mustard gas back in the 80s, and pretty much gave me the information that it was experimental, and they didn't know what was going to happen to me in my older age. Unfortunately, last spring, I had carcinoma cancer taken off both my kidneys, tumors, and it was cancer. Thought it was kind of weird that my parents called me up afterwards and said they watched this show where there was cancer patients from the 80s that used the chemo, which was mustard gas. Everybody in the show had carcinomas. So this is the after effects of this chemo. I met with 3 surgeons after that and told them my prognosis, and all 3 surgeons all supported my parents, saying that the carcinomas were from my mustard gas. So at the time, the doctor wanted to hand me off to an oncologist. I said, no way. And I got on the Rick Simpson oil, which Rick Simpson has cured 5,000 stage 4 cancer patients with this Rick Simpson oil, which is CBD oil combined with THC oil. So I healed my body. I had a tumor on my pancreas. In November, they went in to scope it, and my pancreas was totally healed from the Rick Simpson oil.
Wow. Wow. And the Rick Simpson oil, it's not like you actually order the oil from Rick Simpson, but it's actually the process of extracting this oil from the plant.
There's growers here in Arizona that grow, and they use the leaves and they make the oil, and they sell it at the dispensaries, so you can go and buy it at your local dispensary.
Okay. And I'm going to put a link for that Rick Simpson movie that is on YouTube, or you can Google it yourself, but it's called Run From the Cure. run from the cure. So why are we not using this instead of mustard gas? Anything to do with money?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. The Rick Simpson oil is pretty cost effective next to chemo, and I think that scares a lot of the doctors and pharmaceutical companies and everybody that's involved in the cure for cancer. We will never find a cure unless we find a cure for greed.
I love that. That's awesome. Okay, so just some other research that I was doing on the Rick Simpson oil is that it works on a lot of things other than just cancer. People are taking it also for migraines, for glaucoma, skin conditions, burns, ulcers, warts and moles, diabetes, incredible results on that, infections, arthritis, chronic pain, asthma, insomnia, anxiety, and depression. It regulates body weight, and it heals scar tissue, rejuvenates the vital organs, and basically any condition that involves mutating cells. Which I thought was really interesting because I've only heard of it for cancer, and so to discover that all of these other things, I was trying to tell my mom a little bit about this last night because she was recently diagnosed with glaucoma, and glaucoma is a hereditary thing, so it's probably something I will be diagnosed with at some point too. And there's all of this research that's been done on CBDs and THC, and they've not found it to ever harm anyone. It's not detrimental in any way, as opposed to the narcotics and tranquilizers and all the painkillers and shit that we give people for these things that are very detrimental, including alcohol and just drug abuse, you know.
Well, I mean, the bottom line is alcohol is killing millions of Americans. Pharmaceutical drugs are killing millions of Americans. Chemotherapy is killing millions of Americans. Cannabis oil and CBDs has killed no one. They are healing products. We have a paradigm shift. This is our new medicine.
And it's been used for more than 5,000 years. So it's not like it's something new.
Yeah, right.
They say that Rick Simpson did not discover this, he rediscovered it because it's something that has been used for many, many years and by all of our ancestors.
Well, I mean, let's go to another level. I mean, the Israelis have made cannabis and CBDs legal, and the Israeli scientists right now are doing studies on the Rick Simpson oil. So they want to go to a higher level, which I give them a lot of credit for.
Excellent.
It's a good way to, I mean, it's what a wonderful way to spend money.
And what do you think is probably the biggest group of people using this now? I mean, is it people like our parents' age? Is it people our age?
I think it's all across the board. I mean, it's college kids are using it for performance. You have elderly getting off their pain medicines and waking up and becoming alive. They're not zombies anymore.
Yeah.
They're probably doing a ton of CBDs and cannabis oil, and it's helping them, which I think is wonderful. But I think it's all across the board. I mean, I think I don't think there's an age group. I know when the licenses first came available, the entrepreneur over 40 out in Paradise Valley, that was the big niche that was getting their licenses. The millionaire business owners out in Paradise Valley.
Which is, I think, the highest income group in our area here is Paradise Valley.
They are the ones that were the first ones to get their licenses.
Interesting. Okay. So, the other thing too that I look at this from this angle. If I were diagnosed today with cancer, my thought for many, many years has been I absolutely would not do chemotherapy. I'm just very against it. I know it's helped a lot of people. I know it's killed a lot of people. For me personally, I have no interest in that. I just have no interest in that. But it's so overwhelming, all of this information about this stuff, that I wouldn't even know where to start. So I just want to thank you for being such a great resource for that. And I think that you could help a lot of people that maybe are faced with this because, both of my parents have been through cancer, and it's very overwhelming when you're diagnosed and you don't know what to do or where to turn. It's huge. It's huge. And it's important to take somebody with you when you go on consultations and that sort of thing, because all of the information it kind of goes in one ear and out the other because you're so worried about all these other pieces. But I think having somebody like you to do a consultation and just say, okay, here's where you need to start. These are the options. These are the dispensaries that I find are better than others. Here's who you can go to for information. Here's where you can get information. And so I really appreciate all the years and years of study and research that you have done on this stuff. And I think that would be a real benefit. So I will definitely put your Facebook. I'll tag you on this video when we put it up.
Awesome. So
that people can reach out to you directly for a consultation. Mark is kind of like the CBD THC coach.
The thing is, when I had my agency, I had cancer patients come to my office and referred from clients. And, I went through the whole Brimhall holistic program years ago. So I use a lot of the work I did with John. I went to every seminar and read every book and bought into his program. And then going to another level, I used to always tell John, I don't want to get off the cannabis because it raises my vibration and I feel like it's a healing vibration. And he was upset with me. But again, the more books I read about cannabis, it is all about raising your vibration. And that's the bottom line. Pharmaceutical drugs don't raise your vibration. So I've had...
Lower it.
Yeah, I've had cancer patients come to me, and I've done energy work, recommended books. And I had a Mormon client that was on chemo, came to me, was supposed to do 6 months of the chemo, and after doing the energy work and diving into edibles, pretty much healed himself. And after the third chemo treatment, told his oncologist that his spirit had said that he was done, and he's happy and healthy and living with his family right now.
Wow. And yeah, when I put that link up for that Run from the Cure, the Rick Simpson story, you'll see case after case after case of people who are like terminal cancer patients that are still alive and kicking and thriving way past their expiration date. And I think anytime we can use a resource that is God-given, natural, energetic, I just think it's so much better than the pharmaceuticals, all the painkillers. With every medication you get, you got to take another to combat the side effects, and then you got to take another one to combat those side effects. And it's a joke. It's a freaking joke, and I can get really fired up about this stuff because I think it's ridiculous. The money it's all about money. You always follow the dollar and you'll see where the end of the trail goes.
With me, I have a different philosophy. I've learned to love my cancer. And when you love something, you can create solutions.
Oh, beautiful.
I don't like it when people want to fight all the time. Fight. That makes you stuck. When people are talking about hating and fighting cancer, it gets you nowhere. Like I said, I've learned to love my cancer, and I've gone outside the box, and I've come up with solutions that make a lot of sense.
Wow, that's beautiful, Mark. Thank you.
Thank you, Kerri.
Thank you so much for being here.
Love you, waiter.
Hey, love you too, Mark. The shark. The tuna man. Okay, everybody. I hope this was helpful. And if you have questions or anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can, I'll put Mark's Facebook link on this, and or if you'd like to call him, just give me a message and I'll send you his contact information, okay? Good job, buddy.
Thanks, Kerri.
Thank you. Have a great day.